Sentire Media.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Venice Talks invites you to share your voice. What's your best impression of Venice? Is it a magical moment, a favorite place, or a cherished memory? Send me a short audio, maximum 2 minutes, via WhatsApp or via email at info@monicacesarato.com and I might feature it on the podcast. This week's episode highlights Alison Pauls and her unforgettable experience. Don't miss it. Ciao!
Ciao a tutti, my name's Allison, and I've been a traveler to Venice for, 24 years annually, but my first time in Venice was when I was a little girl, 3 years old. So I've spent a lot of time here and have made many, many memories. Now, as more of a slow tourist, I'm able to come here for an extended period of time each year. I make it a point to see some lovely out-of-the-way things, such as the Museo Fortuny, the Fortuny Museum in Palazzo Grimani. I think Monica has recommended both of those to you on previous podcasts. Lovely things to do. And of course, I would take a food tour with Monica because it's so much fun. And you'll get to make a new friend and learn things about Venice that you wouldn't otherwise know.
Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 3, Episode 2. Hi everybody and welcome back to Venice Talks, to another episode. We are on Season 3 already. Cannot believe it, time has gone so fast. And I'm so happy to have back on the show, as every year now, my dear friend Romena Brugnerotto from RomInVenice. Ciao Romena, how are you?
Ciao Monica, I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Good. I can't believe it. Season 3.
Yes. I was thinking of how much time is that we don't do a talk. That probably was last year, right?
Well, yeah, last year is only like 2 months ago.
Yeah. No, probably, a year.
No. We did. We talked about the cocktails. Don't you remember?
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
But our chat, me and you, yes, is about, because you are the first, one of the first guests I usually call at the beginning of a season and then sometimes at the end.
Very happy.
And I usually do this because it's always January, generally. And because obviously we need to speak of what's going on in Venice, what's coming up. So the people that are going to listen in a second, you will hear about the upcoming Venice Carnival, the Venice Tax Entry, new books in Venice, and some few things more that we're going to chat. But let's start, first of all, with the Venice Carnival. Romena, what makes the Venice Carnival unique compared to all the other carnivals worldwide?
Okay, I think that every carnival, all carnivals around the world, they have a special history, of course. No, I'm not such an expert of Brazilian carnival or other kind of carnival around the world, but I think that for Venice, what is really special is that the carnival is not something that born yesterday, but as everything has a long history.
Well, it was the first carnival, really. That's where carnival was,
but I mean, that's true. So the long history of the carnival make Venice Carnival so special. I always joke now with my guests when they are in Venice and I start talking about carnival now and say that if you are going to a ball or a special event, you have to wear, of course, the costume, the carnival costume. bad guys, not Batman, not Spider-Man, not that kind of that's just for kids, of course.
Why no? Come on. In the old days, that's what we
no.
used to, you know. That's
I'm talking
intense.
about big events.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you go like to a proper ball and stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I totally
yes.
agree.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be something beautiful. Yeah, you're right.
But if you are walking all over the street, no, that's different. You can wear everything.
Yeah. Well, it's like Halloween, but it's just was born way before Halloween. That's the point.
Yes, of
Even
course.
though now, unfortunately, in Venice, we tend to celebrate and dress up for Halloween, and we don't dress up for Carnival anymore. That I never understood why, but never mind. That's another.
That's really a pity. Yeah,
I know
of course.
it is. So what's the theme of this year? I mean, I know the press conference is next week, and I have an insight for you. Maybe,
oh my,
just maybe. It's a big maybe because he hasn't answered yet. But maybe I will be able to interview the artistic director of a carnival.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was told that he's agreed to speak with me, but he cannot do it until after the press conference, which I totally understand because we don't want him to spoiler anything. So by the time this episode is out, I should have done the interview by then. So, okay, so what's the theme in the meantime?
Okay, so this year all Venice will celebrate, we'll say Casanova, Giacomo Casanova, no? So because this year is the anniversary of the birth, 300 years of from the birth of Casanova.
One of the most famous Venetian person,
worldwide.
You say Casanova, people automatically know it's from Venice.
Yes, but most of the people, they know just a little bit of the story of Casanova, I think, because it is very well known because he was a Latin lover, he escaped from the jail and that kind of stuff. But I hope that this year we will discover more about Casanova, no? Because he was such an interesting person in such, I would say, a large amount of things, no? Because
of course. Also because he started as a clergyman. When he was a spy, he was an intellectual. He was a lot of things. I think probably nowadays he would have been big on TV.
Yeah,
he would.
I think so.
Like a proper,
he was in a lot of movies. Now he was part of a lot. What would say the team of a lot of interesting movies. But I think we really need to give him more attention. Like not only like a Latin lover, but for all the other things. And I hope there will be an exhibition about that.
Listen, not famous for being a Casanova. For all these things. I know obviously there's gonna be a lot of other things like not just during Carnival or through the year. We're probably gonna have seminars and stuff like that. Carnival, of course. So we still don't know what's happening in the Carnival. I don't know. Did you manage to have a look at the website yet?
Yes, I can tell you something. So we will start with something that is not directly connected with Carnival. Because we will start during the Valentine's Day.
Oh, Valentine's Day, yeah.
Valentine's Days, exactly.
But it happens quite often, doesn't it? I mean, I think in the last 10 years, it's already happened like twice or three times. The Valentine's Day is right in the middle.
Could be. Yeah, could be. This year, the Carnival will be starting, I would say, middle of February.
14th of February.
Yeah, exactly. Valentine's Day. And the last day will be March 4. So it will be, I would say, late Carnival. Different from last year that was very early. I would say end of January, beginning of February. And for that thing, we are expecting more people. So the weather would be nicer, probably a little bit I would say warm than end of January, of course. So we were expecting
warmer. Let's say not warm, warmer.
Yes,
probably 2 degrees less.
It really depends. No, we don't know, but probably yes. We know that when the Carnival is so late, we have more people visiting the city,
and we got more time for frittelle as well.
That's a problem. No, I'm joking. Yes. So it will start Valentine's Day, and then the 2 days later, so the 16th of February, there will be the parade along the Grand Canal, the water
Okay.
parade along the Grand Canal. So it will be not in Cannaregio, or Monica, do you remember before
Yeah.
COVID,
But
it
I was
was
gonna
in
about to say things have changed over the last couple of years because for years that parade was let's say, a local parade. It wasn't really the parade organized by the city and stuff like that. It was organized by the Cannaregio area, by the Sestiero Cannaregio, including all the local boat club, rowing clubs.
Sì.
And in the last couple of years, it's been taken over by the city and moved over on the Canal Grande. Between me and you, I hope it's going to be better than last year, since last year I've heard a lot of complaints.
Yeah. Probably it was not so nice, not so long. So for people probably were expecting something longer, I would say,
Well,
and then there were just a few boats.
I thought that they probably were expecting what had been happening for many years in a row now in Cannaregio, where they had this beautiful night parade twice in the evening. I understand, to be honest with you, and I understand why he has been stopped and moved over, because I mean I managed to go to two, but the third time I refused to go because it was literally impossible to stand and see anything. It was just so crowded. It just got crazy. And it was dangerous as well. And it was in the middle of COVID. So I understand.
Yeah, and also I remember a lot of complaint from the people that were are living in the area because they were not able to go home, to go to the supermarket. So it was really, really complicated
just
for
to
them.
tell you, I can't remember. I think it was the last year I went and then I stopped going because of that. I remember, because they used to do them in two slots. So you had to you had like the 5 o'clock slot and then the 7 o'clock slot, something like that. Yeah. So they organized, it wasn't well organized. So when the 5 o'clock slot finished the parade and was leaving, it was literally meeting head on the new slot that was coming of people. So there is only one bridge really on the Cannaregio Canal. So it was impossible to pass. And I remember it took me to go home literally trying to leave the area 2 hours. 2 hours. And I know where I'm going and there was no way to move. So at the end of the day, I walked into one of the bars. I sat there and thought, might as well wait until
probably has to be more distance in between. No, probably but we know that they were waiting for the night, so a little bit dark, so there will be more, I would say, spectacular. That, of course.
So I understand that moving on the Grand Canal. Let's hope it's gonna be something spectacular, though, because I mean, can you imagine the Grand Canal with a show where they used to do it in Cannaregio?
No, that will be amazing. Of course.
Wouldn't it? My God.
And talking about the show, because we are talking about that, I think one of the most important and very nice events where to go is the Arsenale Water Show. You have been last year, right?
Yes. Have you been?
Yeah, not last year, the year before.
So, yes, I went very skeptical. As in, I have to admit, I went there with my son's girlfriends and I went there expecting something. Let's say I wasn't expecting anything really. And I walked out, I was really, really impressed. But then again, I know that the idea was by Alberto Tosofei.
Yeah.
And he was heavily involved in it. So, and Marco Polo, and I liked it. I wasn't so impressed about the English. But then again, speaking with Alberto, he was explaining to me, it was a bit like last moment decision to have somebody speaking in English, which I said, well, I'm here this year if you need me. So
because I don't remember the year before when I went, if there was someone speaking, probably not, just the music. And I think it's the best.
No, because I had people, because it was a story of Marco Polo, so they had to explain what was happening between one scene and because it was like a proper theater show on water, so it was fantastic. But for about 20 sentences in Italian, you will get a translation with about 2 sentences in English.
Oh my, no. And I think that the beauty of of this show is that can be enjoyed by, I would say, Italian,
Oh,
English,
yes. Yeah.
French, I would say from all the people. So we don't need to
Oh,
know the language because
yeah.
it's an international language of
I know.
performances.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's
The
well,
only thing is, it's a battle for booking the seats.
yeah.
You have to
It's
be
not
like,
it's not
"Ah!"
already it's not open yet, so
No.
we have to wait a little while. I think
Yeah.
probably after the press conference
Yeah. And I
or
think
something
even,
like this.
yeah, generally, yeah. And it
And
wasn't cheap, but it was good. Worth it.
no, it is a really nice show. And remember to take something warm,
My God, I was gonna
like
say exactly
gloves,
the same thing. Make sure if you go, one,
because you
you
are
have.
sitting down for half an hour,
I
40 minutes.
know,
So,
I know. I
and
mean, I
it's
remember
nice.
what we did. We didn't want to go and take blankets because, of course, we were around Venice that day. But what I did, I took shawls, and so they were perfect to go on the legs. So if you go to this show, please make sure you're dressed up because it's in the open air. And
Yeah.
if it's freezing like it was last year, it was. I think we got on one of the worst days as well. Okay. And what else have we got on? Have you seen if they showed something else, or that's it for the moment?
I think that these two are the most important things to do because there will be, of course, the on Saint Mark Square. There will be the I would say something like theater, but just
Yeah,
for the best mask and most beautiful mask.
yeah.
You can walk and they take you the pictures and that kind of stuff. But for the moment, I don't see any special stuff
Mm-mm.
going on Saint Mark.
Yeah, I don't even think
So.
they're gonna have a Flight of the Angel again, don't they? Because
No, no, no,
they're
no.
still
I was
working in
looking
Summer
on
Square.
the website, and there was also wrong information
Mm.
because they
Ecco.
were saying, "Ah, yeah, it's the first day of the carnival," but
Mm.
I don't see anything. I really go through the website very
Yeah.
well, so I
Mm-mm.
definitely they don't announce nothing like this. So I
Okay,
don't
okay,
think
okay.
that that will be.
Now, what are your tips for somebody that comes to the carnival the first time?
So my tip is to dress up. I mean,
As it
um,
dress up as in wear a costume, not dress up because it's
yes,
freaking
yes.
cold.
No, 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 no. I'm saying that wear a mask. You can buy directly in Venice. You don't need to come with a mask. And since you are in Venice, there
But
are
you should go and
such,
buy one in Venice
yeah,
since you're in
yeah,
Venice,
there
yeah?
are such many beautiful shops that they sell real mask.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, there are difference on pricing
Of
about the
course.
mask. If the mask is really cheap, because it could be made by plastic or something like
Yeah.
this, of course, it's nice if you don't want
Yeah.
to spend such an amount of money. But of course, the really traditional way of making mask,
It's paper mache.
yeah, it's paper mache, so the price is
Yeah.
different. I don't say that we pay 200 euro for a mask. That is not. But consider something like 40, 50
Yeah.
euro for a very nice
Yeah.
mask that you can put on your living room when you go
Yeah, when
home,
you go back. Yeah, exactly.
or put
Exactly.
on the wall. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, or just have a little, I would say, an interesting makeup, no? Because you remember when
Oh yeah.
we went the last time, one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
time before the COVID, we had
Mm-hmm.
such a beautiful makeup with
She's
decoration
coming
on the
back.
face. Yes,
Sophie is
yes.
coming back. Sophie is coming back. So at the end of this little conversation about Carnival, I need to give some information, some practical information. So
Yes.
keep going with your tips. I need to write them down because I'll forget. Keep going. Keep going.
Because guys, I think that go on this, I would say, on this proper way to the carnival is more enjoyable for everybody. I mean, if you go there and you're not wearing a mask or you don't have a very nice makeup, and all the other people, if they do like you,
Mm.
what you are gonna look for.
Mm-hmm.
So of course there will be nice masks to pictures to make photos on St. Mark Square. Normally they stay around the square in between, I would say, the gondola station nearby the Doge's Palace. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's really nice if you can be part, I would say, of the celebration of the carnival, wearing a mask, a
So,
costume. Yeah.
what are you wearing? But let's go into this because
I
guys,
have to
you
say,
have to know that Miss
no, no,
Miss
no. Of
Romena
course,
here only
No.
started wearing things because Monica convinced her a few years
That's
ago.
true. That's really true. No. I wanna go to Sophie, I would say, place for a nice makeup
Yeah.
decoration.
See,
So I
see,
wanna
see. I
go.
told you it was fun to go around with a makeup, face painting. And
Yeah.
I understand that at our age, going around with a mask is uncomfortable, is annoying. I wear glasses. Sometimes you do as
Me
well.
too.
So it's annoying. But the face mask, the face painting, I think it was a great idea. And you can decide and, to do anything. So, guys, for whoever is listening, 3 things, practical things. Now, if you want to do face painting, Romena and I have a person for you. Her name is Sophie Nevis from Trasse Fimer. Sorry, Sophie, if I pronounce it wrong. She's gonna be at Hotel All'Angelo all throughout the carnival, giving face paintings. So you actually can get it done in a nice, warm environment. You can even have a cocktail at All'Angelo Cafe.
Very
And
nice
then
idea.
she will be, happily doing your face painting, obviously for a little charge, whatever. And you can find the information of All'Angelo because we interviewed them on I think it was season 1 or season 2, I cannot remember. You can go and get yourself a really beautiful mask at Tragicomica. And definitely this is an episode on season 2. And if you listen to the episode, you can listen also to the history of the carnival. And then one thing, Romena, where should we go have the best frittella for carnival?
I have mine that I don't know if it is the best, but I like it. So normally, I know I have to go to Vizio Virtù for the one with pistachio.
Okay,
this is my preferred one.
I go to Tonolo for all of them. But I got to say, the other day I had my first frittella. It was at a Meyer patisserie. It was a classical Veneziana and it was huge. And oh my God, I was enjoying with a hot chocolate on the window. And just as I was biting into it, Alberto Tosofei passed. And he saw me with my frittella shoved in my mouth. I don't think it was a very pretty picture. Anyway, let's move on to something new. Now, just the other day, in fact, by the time this goes out, the show would have been going out, I managed to interview the Counselor for Tourism in Venice, Simone Venturini.
You did it.
I did it. It was a good interview, I got to say. Nice. The typical politician went quite around, but still. One thing we mentioned, but we didn't go into it because I didn't want to go into his bad books. So I didn't pressure him too much because I knew we were talking about it. Is one thing we talk about. It was the Venice tax entry, of which me and you already spoke about last year. We knew it was a trial. We know it's on trial again this year, more expensive. But as far as I understand, more days. So first of all, what are your thoughts on the impact of this tourist tax on tourism locals as last year?
I stay on the same idea before everything started. The big problem in some days of the year, I'm talking about the weekends during the spring, where most of the people are coming. The most impact is from the people that live very close to Venice. I mean, very close. I'm not talking about Mestre, but I'm talking about people living in Padova, Treviso.
The rest of the Veneto that can be in the city in an hour and a half, it can be,
Yes, because are that people that they come, young generation, I would say, they come after 4 p.m., 4:30 when the city tax will say expired because you don't pay if you come in that moment. So I don't think that there has been a really impact on that, and it's really confusing for the visitors because we know how it works, how it works and how to manage it, but for the other people it's really confusing, and I don't have so many, I would say, insight from the people that were coming just for the day.
Mhm.
But at the end, they don't ask to everybody to show.
No.
Yeah.
And then if you walk
So
stern and decisive like we were, they don't even stop you.
yeah,
Because we
I
were
would
walking
say
just
so I don't have to show nothing,
Mm.
just my ID card because I live very close.
Yeah.
But all the things they stopped me, I think twice, something like this. I say I'm a resident, and I
Yeah.
and I went.
I
And
didn't
I
even
entered to the
say
city.
that. I just looked at them,
We just
stern,
yes.
and it just moved. It literally just moved.
Yes,
So
because
funny.
because what we have to say is that if you are staying, I would say sleeping,
Yeah.
so we can do easily sleeping in Venice, in Lido, in Mestre, you don't have to pay nothing extra
Exactly.
because your hotel, your Airbnb, your I would say apartment,
Yeah.
they will charge directly the city tax that you pay right now all over
that is another thing.
that is another kind of stuff.
A
Yes,
city
you are
tax
paying.
that over tourist city charge generally.
Yes, of course, all over the world right now. I was listening that in Kyoto, Japan, they will say they will for the 5-star next year will be €60, 60 per night.
Day?
Yes.
Per day?
Yeah, for 5 stars hotel, of course.
Yeah,
not
but
for...
per day?
Yes.
That is outrageous.
They are crazy. I don't know what they are thinking, but it is crazy. So if you are going to sleep in Venice, in Mestre, in Lido, you are not paying something extra.
Yeah,
your hotel will give you something like a QR code, so you can show, they will scan, and you are free to go everywhere.
Yeah.
If you are just visiting for the day, because for example, you are staying in Verona, okay, and you are visiting
you have
for
to
the
register.
day. Yes, you have to register and to pay €5, or
wait, it's gone
different.
up. It's gone up to 10.
Yes, it's going up to 10 if you book less than 4 days before. Okay, so if you, for example,
to make even
more
more
complicated.
To make it even more confusing. Oh my God.
So guys, right now you are safe. If you are coming, for example, for Carnival, don't think about it because it's not working for Carnival.
But wait. And let's repeat. This is not obligatory. It's not compulsory. This is just, it was a voluntary, tax entry. So if you wanted, you registered. But if you didn't, they couldn't force you. Because let's repeat, this
there
was
are a lot of discussion about, and I think you will, of course, win if you go to
absolutely
a judgment or something like this.
Oh, and so anyway, it doesn't start until from April, right?
Yes, April 18 till the end of July, and that is another thing that is really strange. Because August for the moment is not a very, I would say, high season moment for the city,
anymore.
Even if
used to be.
Yeah, it used to be, but September and October are very busy in Venice, no?
I know.
So we don't understand why, for the moment, they say, like last year, that is only applying till end of July.
Wow. The thing was that I was told by Mr. Venturini. Directly, indirectly.
I will listen.
It was. I cannot remember if he told me this off or online. That is a trial. Okay. It was a trial to see if it worked because they have been all the other cities in the world take example for Venice, so everybody wanted to see if it works because then they want to apply in their own city. I get it. I get the idea. I just think that personally the way they are handling it is wrong. Okay, but we discussed this last time. So guys, if you want to hear what me and Romena think about this tax, you need to go to the episode back in season 2, because we had a whole episode dedicated to it, of the possible solution that me and her were suggesting.
Yeah.
Bene, let's move to something else, because as I say in Venetian, il sole mangia le ore, the sun eats the hours, as in we're rushing through. One thing that you love to do, Romena, and you're very, very, very particular in this, is you love reading. And you probably, you're on the line of my mom. How many books do you actually read in a week?
No, in a week I cannot say because it really depends.
Okay, in a month.
I last year it was 60, yeah, yeah,
Okay, that's
60.
wow, about 4 a month, a bit more than 4 a month. Yeah, one a week,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah. And I
Ellen,
try to read, I would say, one book about Venice every month because I
wow,
will talk about
wow.
that on my newsletter. So I want to suggest
Okay.
something to read.
Boom. So, as somebody that is so deeply immersed in Venetian culture, in Venetian literature, can you recommend us some recent books that brings out the spirit of the history of Venice? Obviously in English, I hope. You
Yes,
prepared
yes,
yourself.
no,
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I was worried because I forgot to tell you, get ready on something in
No,
English.
no, no, no. I was thinking about.
Well done.
So, of course, last during the last fall,
Mhm.
Tracy Chevalier, that is a very well-known
Oh, yes.
writer,
Yep.
he went out with this book that is called The Glass Master,
I know.
and it's really, really nice
And I
to
met her.
read.
I met her. I met
Oh,
her.
what? When? What?
Oh, you don't know Meta? Yes, when she came over to present the book in Venice, and of course
Ah,
she
yeah, yeah,
invited.
because you went. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
because
wasn't.
our dear friend Alessia Fuga. But again, you can find her on season 1 and season 2. Yeah, Alessia Fuga, the glass bead maker. It's in her book in a way. She was an
Yes.
inspiration, you know. So she was invited at the, a presidential book. So obviously I was with Alessia and I got to meet her. She's adorable. She's a really, really nice lady. And so, what about the book? Good?
No, it's a really interesting book. First of all, because the book is set not only in Venice, but more, I would say, in Murano. That is not
Mm-hmm.
something that we can read every day
It's
because it's a
true.
really specific, I would say, a really specific location for the
Mm-hmm.
city. And
Mm-hmm.
also for me, that I do I would say, almost every day tour in
Mm-hmm.
Murano, I discover something, or I would say I was thinking something that is really true. For
Mm.
example, no, on the book she describes how the people also on the past time they
Mm.
come to Murano, they saw the demonstration, they go to the showrooms, and so
Mm-hmm.
they decided what to buy. Normally, they were something like merchants, of course, not only people, because
Mm-hmm.
the people were traveling less than today.
Mm-hmm.
But the merchants, they do like we do when we go to Murano.
Ah,
So we go to a fornace, we saw the demonstration.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
we
yeah.
like something, we buy, and they do the same. They did the same on the past time. So that was
Okay.
very interesting to read.
Okay.
And also how she describes the way the people from Murano, the people living in Murano, they were reaching Venice. Now they were boat waiting for them, like I would say taxi, Uber,
Mm-hmm.
taking them in half an hour, more or less, from Murano to Venice and then back. So there were
Cool.
people waiting for, I would say, people that were needing to go to Venice for business, and normally it was for business that the people that were
Uh-huh.
going from Murano to
Cool.
Venice. So that is very interesting. And the other thing is that the story is not set in a specific time
Hmm.
because it goes through many centuries, I would
Mm.
say,
Yes.
arriving till today, so till
Mm-hmm.
very few years ago. So that is really strange. At the beginning, I was not. I started the book without listening a lot of interview
Mm.
or looking to the interview. So I was saying, no, I don't understand why she is talking about this. And after, that's really interesting. So it was a very interesting way to talk
Mm-hmm.
about that,
Mm-hmm.
now to talk
And
about
let's
the.
remind people that Tracy Chevalier is a lady that wrote The Girl with with a Pearl Earring, of which I did one of the most famous films. And then we hope we're going to do a film about Murano as well. And
I
we
really
can
hope
offer
that
ourselves as extras, already. I can produce this as well because, guys, in the meantime, I have produced 2 documentaries, but I cannot tell you anything until they get broadcasted. But that's another story. Any other book that you want to talk about?
Yes, there is a very interesting press company that
Mm-hmm.
just started in Venice, I think 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
that is called Wetlands. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting company because is first of all is set in Venice, so it's always nice when we have businesses, new businesses, I would say, starting in the city. but because they, I would say, they produce different kind of books. They try to put on the stage books that were written also a few years ago, but they are still very, very, I would say, contemporary for the kind of things they say. But also they are producing new books that are really unique in the Venetian, I would say, landscape
Scene.
about
Yeah,
books.
scene.
For
Scene.
example,
Yeah.
thank you. Because, for example, last spring they wrote a book that is both in Italian and in English that talk about the influences from Africa into Venice.
Oh.
And it's a book that has been written by different people, so with different experience, talking about art, talking about, I would say, how the people they lived, talking about, of course, beads and glass, because
Of
it's
course.
connected also with that story. And so I think that you can follow on Instagram because they are really nice and they do a lot of presentation of their books because these kind of studies are really something different from the past. And they are
Interesting.
set in Venice. They use also special kind of paper made with seagrass. So it's a nice experience.
Oh, interesting. Okay, one last thing because the time flies.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to choose between two questions here that I was gonna make you. I'll go for this one because I think it's the one most interesting for the listeners. Okay, hidden gem or secret about Venice that you like to share?
What I have to say, I think that I'm a tour leader in Venice, so I meet almost every day people visiting the city. Sometimes they are really happy to be here because they are in a very beautiful city. They are dreaming about Venice, no, from long time. But sometimes it's really frustrating from my side because they just are, I would say, they just saw a little part of the city. I mean, not just a little part, I mean, just St. Mark's Square, but a little part because they stay very, I would say, on the, come si dice, nella superficie.
Yeah, so they do a superficial visit. They're not really
Yes, do a
go
superficial
in depth.
visit.
They don't do any research and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you. So what I can say is that the more you stay in Venice, the more things you discover, of course.
Of course.
Yes. So what I can suggest to the people is not just, I would say 3 days in Rome, 3 days in Venice, 3 days in Florence. One time on your traveling, come for just live in the city. I mean, just stay for a week, stay a little bit longer. If it is on summer season, you can go a little bit on the beaches, on the Lido Island. Not say living like a local, because I don't love so much this kind of, I would say, this kind of expression.
Yeah,
But
also because it's impossible to live like a local.
No, it is impossible, of course.
Come on.
But leave the city without running from one thing to another.
Yeah, you're still gonna be a
Because,
tourist because you're a visitor, but there is a difference between, as you say, doing superficially and actually breathing and take your time. And
No, also because I think that if you do, for example, St. Mark's Square in the morning, then you go for a food tour in the afternoon, and then you do something else in the night, you are feeling very tired. So you don't enjoy, probably you will enjoy the first thing, that is the visit of St. Mark, but later, if you do the food tour, you are tired, you need to rest a little while. So what I can suggest is, for example, to, I would say, to plan just the half day. Okay,
Yes.
This day for 4 hours I will do the food tour. Okay?
And then always have do half days, a tour or a visit to a museum or something for half a day, and then the other half day just walk around.
Yes, enjoy, take a nap if you need a nap now, because it's not something that you have not to do. Take a nap or go around, make a little bit of shopping if you need. So what I can say is just enjoy the city, not running from an attraction to another, from
Rather
a
than a
thing to another.
hidden gem is a secret tip.
Yeah.
That is different. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Rom, where can people find you on social media?
So I have a website that is RomInVenice, so www.rominvenice.com. And of course, this is in all my social media, so you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, like RomInVenice. Probably you
Okay.
write it down, so it will not be a problem.
Good. Okay, so I'm definitely probably going to interview again by the end of the year. Don't worry about it.
Hope
We'll
so.
have plenty of
No,
things
we
to
have. Remember, we have to do an interview about how to do the island tour, Murano and Burano, in a clever way.
Oh, do we? Do we talk about? Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God,
I
I'm so
told you. Probably
sorry.
we
Yeah,
spoke about that.
a long time ago. Okay, so
Yeah,
sorry.
a long time ago. No worries.
I got so many things, in my head right now. My head, you know what it is. It's totally in another continent, and it's gonna be for the next 3 months. Okay, listen, guys. Romena, thanks again for being with us, and the best in the world. And I'll speak to you soon, guys. Don't forget to, to subscribe to Venice Talks podcast. And if you want, don't forget, you can send me a short audio of a maximum 1 or 2 minutes, either via WhatsApp or via email at info@monicacesarato.com, where you tell me the best thing that you liked about Venice. That way, if you're lucky, I will post it on one of my episodes. Romena, grazie ancora. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you again, Romena, for the wonderful chat as usual. You can find Romena at www.RomInVenice.com and on all social medias as at RomInVenice. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.